Hi, everyone. Thank you so much and welcome back. It's always wonderful to connect with you. This is the channel, you guys. We've got it all: mental health, movement, motivation. If you're enjoying what I'm doing, please don't forget to subscribe and share the news of the channel with your friends and family. Again, so lovely to connect with all of you. Today, I was inspired by recent life events to put this video out. And you guys, it's another one of those kind of right between the eye programs. I want to talk about how to move out of reaction, being so reactive. And there's nothing wrong with reactions and being reactive if they're empowered, if they're healthy, if they're moving your life forward, if there's a level of calm behind it. But I think we can all agree that there are sometimes we will react. I can raise my hand. We will react, and it's ultimately to our detriment because we didn't think it through. We said something we regretted. We did something we regret. People are in their grave because of quick reactions. People lose jobs because of reactions they haven't thought through. People lose relationships and blow things up unnecessarily all the time. So I want to start out by saying I heard from someone this week. And I'm going to bring this all full circle. And it's interesting because hadn't really heard from them in over a decade. So I want you to hold on to that while I go back 10 years, about 10 years prior to the moment that really the hand of God came in and crystallized the importance of choosing an alternative response to quick hair trigger reaction. So let me give you a little bit of the backdrop. I was involved, you can call it a project, an initiative with someone, and thought there was a pretty decent rapport midstream. And when I tell you kind of midstream, this individual dr- dropped the ball. Like it was very erratic. It was somewhat just felt really abrupt and quite frankly, really, really odd and strange. And ordinarily, I would have just kind of picked up the phone, what's going on? Can't get an explanation. There was something this time it was different, like literally on a spiritual level, I felt like I was being held back. And some more days went by, and this it was weighing heavier and heavier on my soul. And what I can tell you about, yes, for me, all roads lead back to mental health. That being said, I'm not superhuman. I'm not the oracle of all knowing. My greatest asset and ally in this work, and I share this with you unapologetically, has been the hand of God. It overlays every single thing that I do. Constant prayer. I want you to look out for my new series coming up, how to use the scriptures to turbo boost and turbocharge your mental health. So I too hit stumbling blocks. I too find myself in conundrums, pickles, what have you, and being stuck. And my go-to is always the same. And I prayed. I said, Father, I'm feeling a range of emotions. This is extremely perplexing, feels odd, strange, rude, what have you. Um, Another day or so went by. And again, when you are maneuvering in spirit realm, as many of you are, you know that prayers are answered audibly inside of your spirit, inside of your soul. And it was very clear to me. I was going back and forth. Should I say something? Should I say nothing? Should I call? And again, audibly in my spirit, the wisdom came through. This didn't happen so that you could say something or say nothing. All I want you to do is observe. All I want you to do, Sheila, is observe. And I'll tell you, that was kind of a jolt to my system as well, because growing up, I had always, my default was just react, react. I always felt like I had to do something, I had to solve something. So it washed over my spirit in a very deep way. Darling, all I need you to do is simply observe. And I want to say this, being a woman who has, thank you, Jesus, um, brought me out of that reaction and still works with me in that area. What can also happen when you have a reactive personality? You will almost always, as a default, if you don't feel like you can do something, you will react and turn it on yourself. You'll start to cannibalize yourself emotionally, ruminating. Was it me? Did I did something wrong? Picking it back, being upset. And so you start to internally torture yourself because, hey, that's a reaction. I need to react. So that gives me something to do, without realizing that what you're doing is tanking your mental health. You are literally putting yourself in a psychological state that is lowering your life vibration. It's not helpful for the situation. You're not getting any traction. The situation or the person you're ruminating over, they're not in touch with that. So it's not affecting them. You can't concentrate. Maybe you're losing sleep. So these emotions can get on top of us. And if you're not able to pull yourself back, it just becomes an automatic response. So going back to the wisdom that came through my spirit from the Lord, it was just kind of like a revelation. Oh wow, this is all I need to do is observe. And I will tell you, I I I did it. I went right into it. I'm like, this is easy. I can observe. And the strangest thing is, this person uh, didn't say anything. I was my spirit had settled into kind of this observation mode. I still had to deal with them and see them a little ways after that. I was decent, I was cordial, but again, my spirit just would not let me kind of probe it, pick it apart. It was more or less one of those things. Well, if it went down this way, it just meant it wasn't supposed to be. It wasn't supposed to manifest. So fast forward nearly a decade later, and here recently, uh, I receive a phone call from this individual. Uh, they had a request for me. They shared some things, and in an instant, not in a malicious way, but just in a way of reckoning. That moment in time, nearly a decade ago, like it all came back to me. The erratic nature of how the ball was dropped, the days following that, and seeing this person out and about. And I will tell you, I was equipped and armed with the demeanor, with all the information that I needed to handle that call beautifully, to decline the request, if you will. And it was because, and this is the beauty when you turn your life over to spirit, and you cultivating and you're growing yourself very intentionally in that space. The Lord can see things 10 years out, 30 years out, 40 years out, 2 months out, 2 weeks out, that we can't see. These would be considered blind spots. Now, Had that not happened 10 years ago the way it did, I would have not been aware of the erratic nature of this individual. And it was because I experienced that erratic and reckless nature that I was able to very calmly decline. Even since the call here recently, some other things have come out that have given me confirmation and proof positive that there are certain instances you do not need to react. You do not need to mount a counter response or attack, however you want to look at it. All you need to do is get quiet and observe. You guys, there is a third alternative. Do I say something? Do I not? I would offer you a third alternative that is very viable in this realm of reaction, and that is to seat yourself inside of the wisdom of observation. It is a very appropriate response. It is what I call the silent, a very quiet, soothing, and calming reaction. There are times, yes, you need to open your mouth. There are times you're going to need to advocate for yourself, but there are also times where simple observation is the solution. Simple observation is the path to deeper and more satisfying and gratifying levels of mental health. I encourage everyone to kind of sit back. And again, this is an area where I've completely told God I want to learn, I want to grow, and it's paid me back in spades. I'm not perfect, but I will tell you where this was for me 10 years ago, 20 years ago has dramatically improved. You guys, observation allows you to look at things from various angles. Observation allows you the benefit of processing and calm and quiet. And observation is also a really wonderful insurance policy against doing something or saying something that you will regret. You may even sit in observation mode for a while and then decide, a couple weeks later, a few days later to say something. But I encourage everyone to build in that first reaction of observing the situation, observing yourself, observing it from various angles. And I promise you that it can't yield anything but good fruit. Because inside of observation, you are inviting the energy of rationale and reason to come in. So, you guys, thank you so much. I hope you get something out of this message. I'm coming at you real soon again with some more uplifting content. In the meantime, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll connect with you soon.